Session 15, Ethics in Sales. This is the last session in this program. Last week, we did the session 14, which was on sales forecast and predictability. This program is on creating effective and efficient sales systems and teams that win. This is brought to you by METL Global Perspectives, www.metl.in. Ethics in Sales. Fraudulent claims, products, and cheating instances are often reported in the media. There are courts of laws for handling such instances. Trust is the backbone of any sales interaction. Salespersons, at times, in their eagerness to close a deal, often break the trust and provide incorrect, false, or partially correct information. They also make commitments which they know they will not be able to keep because the organization does not support those kind of commitments that they make. These give rise to unethical behaviors in sales and has a long-lasting consequences for the organization. These can be related to any member of the sales team, and it can be internal or external. It can be a part of the organization, or it can be a part of the dealer's distribution channel, or it can be a part of the retail system. Wherever there is a chance of lack of ethics and it is an organizational product that is being carried, the organization is responsible for it. As I said earlier, everyone sells, and whosoever is selling a fraud needs to be relieved from the organization and the reason for that investigated. At times, these practices are there due to the kind of culture that prevails and the kind of metrics that is being monitored. Due to this kind of a system, there is intense pressure on the salesperson, and the salesperson at times commits fraud. I won't say that it happens always, but metrics and culture are as much a part of this as is the behavior of the salesperson. All needs to be investigated when we are looking at it. The higher up in the organization's ladder the person is, the one who's selling the fraud, greater the negative impact on the organization. Now, this, while I'm saying for sales, we all know that this is relevant for every aspect of it. Any person, if someone is the more higher up the individual is, and the violations that that person carries through becomes the culture of the organization. Therefore, it is very important in the context of ethics of sales to be very true to the organization that you are representing. Sales Ethics Committee. As a member of the sales force, you must practice ethics in sales and never be a part of fraudulent dealings. No fraudulent deal ever helps anyone, neither in the short term nor the long term. If you find out about such deals, even though not carried out by you, these must be reported to the organization's Sales Ethics Committee. Sales Ethics Committee reports to the independent board member and not to the CEO. When unethical sales is happening, the fundamentals of every relationship or every other decision or discussion gets violated. So it's very important to have the ethics in place, not to overpromise, not to mislead a customer. But if you know that has been happening and someone in the sales team is practicing, it is as much a responsibility of every individual to report on that. Before the investigating authorities come to know of something, it is always that the team members get to know of it or the managers get to know of it. So it's very important for everyone to involve the sales ethics committee and take action, because in the long run, you're saving the organization, and keep that in mind. When it comes to ethics, there are 6 ethical areas that needs to be looked into. Product related, channel partner related, customer related, information related, organization related, and team related. I'm just focusing on the sales ethics side of it here. I'm not focusing on the larger ethics cycle or aspects related to that. Product related. At times, product pilferage and short supply can happen, and these are not reported accurately, or they are pushed under the carpet, or they are deliberately done. So these are ethical issues, because that product sales is absolute hard money for the organization. When the sales promotion is carried out, There are lots of freebies which are provided by the companies. Organizations or the retail give the retail system a lot of additional goods. Some organizations or the some salespersons and sales teams skim these freebies away and sell it in the marketplace at much lesser prices. This is a violation. Deliberately product damage reporting. As the salesperson is very empowered down the line to go and see a particular product and certify whether it's damaged or not, there might be a possibility of deliberate damage reporting and the benefits accrued being shared by the distributor and the salesperson. So keep in mind these things can happen. Passing on some time sensitive product details to competitors. If a salesperson passes on the details to a competitor saying that so and so date we will be launching so and so scheme, the competitor is forewarned. So the competitor can take action even before that. That has got some monetary value, definitely. Or if the salesperson tells the uh, channel partner, don't put your order now, just wait a little, wait for a few days because we are going to come up with a scheme. When you give an order, then you'll get much more material. The challenge here is that if there are, say, 30 salespeople who are operating and one person does this and the rest of the 29 don't do it, that one person then clocks more sales and that one person becomes, at times, might become much more preferred for various other people. That is when the culture of the sales organization starts getting questioned. So keep in mind that any ethical failure, any lack of ethics, and if that is not caught and punished, or if rewarded subtly by no action being taken, is sending a very negative message to the organization. Channel partner related. Selective and preferential distribution of high value, high volume products. So while I should be distributing whatever I have in stocks equally, those products which sell very well, if I am doing preferential sales of that to the ones who I like and I give more of them, that definitely is an ethical issue. Piggybacking product. We tell that some salespeople tell the channel partners that if you want to take this winning product, you will have to take this new product which has been introduced and keep so much stocks of it. If you don't, then I will not give you the winning product. So this is piggybacking the product, piggybacking one on the other, and this is absolutely an ethical issue. And organizations I have seen time and again being doing that, and they turn a blind eye, saying that okay, launch whatever we launch, piggyback it on the high selling product. Now that is not done, and organizations must take action about it. Taking commissions for passing bills or benefits. So the channel partner keeps on being submitting bills of some promotion or something being carried on here or there. He or she might not have done that, and if the salesperson knows that but still passes the bill, these are those on for some benefit that is accrued to the salesperson. These are unethical actions again. Seeking employment for family members to the channel partner and telling them that, here are some of my cousins or some of my distant people, can you employ them? That is absolutely an unethical because that will lead to further favors being sought by the channel partners and others. And the last one is seeking direct favors, as in, can you send a vehicle here? Can you provide so and so equipment to me? That is absolutely seeking direct favor from the channel partner. And what happens is that the channel partner will satisfy. But once the person knows that you have taken a bribe or you have taken some unethical uh, decisions, that person will hold you to ransom. And then as a salesperson, your career is literally at the mercy of the channel partner because he's not going to leave you. So be very cautious. Know the consequences of these acts. That is never going to help you professionally. Not even once should a person get into these. Carry out your work professionally, do your job well, and you will succeed far more than doing these kind of unethical things. Customer related. Here I am talking of the end customer, telling half the story to the customer. So they want something and you are selling They want A and you are actually selling them A plus B plus C plus D. You are selling them too much actually. And you are not telling the others because you are just disabling the other three elements, but getting the customer to pay for the whole one. So this is telling half the story to the customer. At times, if the customer asks questions, again responding by half answers, not the complete thing. This is not okay because there is an unethical behavior. Contradicting the information in the product catalog. The product catalog is prepared because that is sacrosanct. That is a document which the organization is giving. Very often, the fine prints and the notes which are written, or even the details which are written in the product catalog, none of the customers actually go seriously and read it. So it's the responsibility of the salesperson in that case to tell what is there in the product catalog and how can that impact the customer positively or negatively. And if the salesperson is contradicting the product catalog information, then you should know that you're not telling the right things. Deliberately not giving the product catalogs is the other thing, because the salesperson knows that what they are trying to sell is not really the solution, but they are force fitting something, so they try to avoid giving the product catalogs. So that's not right. As a customer, they might ask for it, but as a salesperson, it's your duty to give a product catalog to the customer. Providing personal guarantees. At times, I have seen salesperson telling the customer saying that, "Don't worry, you just go ahead and with this offering and sign it. I am there." That is very unfair on the customer because the salesperson can quit or something might happen and the person just leaves, stops working there. That kind of thing is very unethical for the customer. It's not right way to handle. And giving kickbacks to the client representative. As in the salesperson in this case, after getting the order and the money, gives a certain portion of that to the customer representative or the finance person or whatever. Here there is unethical behavior on the part of salesperson, there is unethical behavior on the part of client organization also. So both of them need to stop this and get into proper ethical behaviors. Information related misrepresentation. At times, if it's a very technical product, the customer doesn't really understand all of it, so the salesperson misrepresents. And when they represent it wrongly, the customer then, while using that particular product, sees that the service is not what they expected, but kind of they have been already sold the offering. Happens a lot in aspects like insurance, in things like financial services, where misrepresentation is just all over the place. The all the information is there in the fine print. They also say that when the policy is issued, you can just go back at it after 15 days is the window, you can go and return it, but no one really reads all of this. So the salesperson might say that you pay so much premium, after a period of 7 years you will get so much money every year, every month. But actually, when the customer sees that, yeah, they didn't get so much money, what happened? The salesperson would, so the person can say that, it was dependent on the stock market and the stock market didn't perform as per expectation. That's why. Customer says that, but you assured me of this kind of money will be returning to me. So he says that if you read the policy, it says that subject to market fluctuation. So this kind of a situation is a misrepresentation of the situation. Providing incorrect proposals or references. Providing falsified information or data on capability. An organization says that they can carry out a particular contract and the nature of the job, which is there, but they really don't have the capability to execute such a project, whether it be from the design side or from the construction side. So obviously the project fails and there's a lost time, lost effort. This was falsification of information. And lastly is trying to misguide the customer. In that case is that the organization might not have done a project of that nature at all, and they just make it up and say that yes, we have done, and they fabricate the evidence and totally try to misguide the customer in the process. That is information related. Organization related. In here we are talking of instances where the salesperson cheats his own organization where he is employed. So what they can do is cheating with false invoicing. Say it's the month of quarter ending or year ending and they have to show certain numbers. The numbers are not happening. So what they do is that they create false invoices. They tell the distributors to take the material, and then they say that in the next month, in the month of April or something, say that these were damaged goods and return them. That way some invoicing happens, and they are written off as goods returned. That is totally falsifying every aspect of it, and it's a very common practice across organizations. Very, very unethical practice again. Trying to draw customer to a new company. So if the salesperson changes jobs, say in banking industry there is a high net worth individual, and a salesperson caters to them. When the salesperson changes leaves the organization and goes to another organization, he calls his existing customers and tells them to come with him. Now this is a very common practice in some organizations. Even doctors tend to practice this due to wherever expertise is involved. However, this is a very unethical practice. One should not be doing that. Becoming a distributor or a contractor in his own company with a false name or some other different name. Here, the salesperson sees an opportunity to do some business with his own organization, so they tend to become a distributor or a contractor, and thus profiteering in the process. And the last one is profiteering by providing company confidential information. In this case, the salesperson has access to company confidential data on the product or product release or the product function or the chemical structure, and that is being provided to a competitor or someone else who's asking for it. That is also an organization related fraud, and one should not do it. This is absolutely an unethical thing to do. Certain people, when they change companies, they take a lot of information from their earlier company with them. Maybe it's about clients, maybe it's about other employees who work there who can be pulled into the other organization. These all come under the garb of unethical practices. Team related. Not supporting team members, taking clients away from team members, spreading negative culture, degrading or making fun of others. This way, the salesperson builds mistrust in the team and spreads a very negative uh, environment in the organization. So, this is absolutely again an unethical behavior, and any salesperson who's doing that must be taken to task by the sales manager and the rest of the organization. Sales, as I said, is a process. It requires complete team to get involved in it. So it should not be looked upon as an individual activity, and anyone who's trying to be a superhero in it and trying to individualize sales should be taken to task. It's very important to build the team and the whole team's capability. It's not about one person, and if one person is trying to spoil the culture and the way of working, that person must be relieved as soon as possible. Impact of unethical individual in sales. Often, the team members are aware of the unethical practice and do not bring it to the notice of the managers. This is because the culture of openness very often is absent, or maybe the manager supports the unethical practice, or even if he does not support, he tries to have a blind eye towards that. The impact of having an unethical person in the team who carries out fraudulent activities and is very demoralizing for the rest of the sales organization. In sales, managers tend to talk highly about ones who achieve the numbers, not looking into the means. It is never about the ends, it has to be about the means too. It is worse if the individual who has done an unethical practice is promoted or awarded as an achiever. In case there is rampant unethical behavior being demonstrated, check the metrics and the management practices and the culture and, of course, the leader. All of this has to be at fault somewhere or the other, because the entire organization demonstrating unethical behavior is not possible unless all are aligned to it. Ethical behavior, trust builder. It is important to demonstrate ethical behavior in the sales team and having systems and processes to restrict possibility of fraud. Impose very strict consequences quickly on detection of a fraudulent activity. Provide access to ethics committees for whistleblowers who can be customers, who can be the consumers of your product, who can be the channel partners, who can be the sales team. Investigate and act with speed and decisively. These are so crucial to be able to set the organization in order so that if there is a person who's carrying out fraudulent activities or demonstrating unethical behavior, that person is taken to task at the earliest instance. Evolve your sales a bit every week. Do you have a sales ethics committee in your organization? What are its powers? Whom does it report to? How are you tracking ethical and unethical activities being carried out by your sales team? And with this, we come to the end of the sales enablement program. I hope you learned all that is required, and this program will benefit you for years to come as you move from a sales executive to an account manager to a regional sales manager and a sales head. In case of queries, feel free to reach out to me at saugata@metl.in, or you can connect with me at through WhatsApp at 9966027808. This is the last session of the program. Keep going through this 16 sessions till the time you don't get it right. Believe me, sales is not so easy. However, if you follow this approach, whatever be it, whether it be a product, whether it be a service, and across industries, you will be able to master sales. And it's not an issue at all to change jobs or to work in different regions or to be in different organizations. So have a great time selling and enjoy all the